Hey y'all, I hope you're having a good day so far. I want to talk about some myths and misconceptions that people tend to have about mental illness. I want to start first of all with depression. Most people think that, oh, you're just sad, you can get over it, just be happy. And that's not true because depression is a chemical imbalance in your brain, and it's not like you can just get over it and, oh, just be happy. It's not just something that you can just get over it with the snap of a finger. And that's a misconception that people often have with depression. And with anxiety, people say, oh, well, just don't be anxious or don't be scared, don't be nervous, everything's going to be okay. And you can't just not be nervous or not be scared or afraid or not be anxious. And like I said in the last video, I haven't ever been officially diagnosed with anxiety, but I do have some of the symptoms. I've researched it, and I tend to feel anxious at times where there's nothing to be nervous about. But it's a really hard thing to just get over it. Or, say, PTSD, for example, people just say, oh, well, it happened in the past, it's over now. But if it's something that's been emotionally traumatic, like me, myself, I'm a victim. I was a victim. I'm a survivor of sexual abuse. It is something that carries through with you throughout the rest of your life. And I can't say it affects me every single day, but I mean, it'll just pop up in my head, and it's been over for 4 or 5 years now, but it still, pops up, and it still upsets me, and it's still hard to think about. It's a very hard thing to think about. So you can't just because it was in your past doesn't mean that you can just not still be hurt by it, still have feelings from it, strong emotional feelings attached to it. And I'm not saying to just let it affect your whole life or let it affect how you treat people, but it's not just something that you can forget about. People just say, oh, well, just forget about it. Well, it's not really something you can forget about, especially if you've been abused by a family member or someone who you loved and was important to you. So that's some of the many misconceptions people have about mental illnesses pertaining to specific mental diseases. And I would say a general one, even if you're a believer or you're not a Christian, but a lot of people in the church and preachers think that you have a mental illness because your parents sinned, or, it's like punishment for their sin, or because you've sinned and you don't have a close relationship with God, that God is punishing you. And that is not true at all, because a lot of people can be born with mental illness, and you're a baby, and babies don't know any better and don't know right from wrong. So how can you be punished for something that that you were born with when you just came into the world and you haven't committed a sin? And plus, you're a baby, you don't know right from wrong, so that's not even a logical point to make. But God is not punishing you by you having a mental illness. I look at it this way. Like I said, I haven't been diagnosed with anxiety, but the things that I've struggled with, but I've had some PTSD from, like I said, the sexual abuse I've endured earlier in my life. But it has strengthened me and actually brought me closer to God. So I think it's God's way of teaching me to be strong and to just cling to Him and not let it make me a victim. I don't think it's a punishment from God. Honestly, I wish that it didn't go down that way, but I'm glad that those things happened in my life, because honestly, it strengthened my relationship with God. It's helped me to be strong and helped me to be there for others who've been in that same situation. So I'm glad for those trials in my life in that sense. And that's part of why I'm making these videos, because I just want to help people who are going through things like this. And I have family members who have depression, bipolar disorder, anxiety, and I see how they struggle with it on a day-to-day basis. I don't completely understand because I don't go through all the same things, but I just want to be there to help people, and that's why I'm a psychology major, because I want to be a counselor and be able to help people who have been through these things and help them to know that they're not alone, and they have people who have been through these types of situations that can help them, that know what they're struggling with and what they're going through. And I just want to let people know that it's not that simple. You can't just get over it, especially if your brain is sick. Like, another common misconception with mental diseases is that you can just be cured and just get through it. Well, let me ask you this. If you have diabetes or cancer, can you just get over that? Will that just heal automatically? And boom, you're not sick anymore? No. It's just like a disease in the other organs of your body. Like in your lungs, you have lung cancer, or you have cancer. Well, I mean, even if you have cancer in the brain and it's not so much affecting your mood and behaviors, I mean, I don't know, you have breast cancer or whatever, you can't just get over it. It's a disease, it's just a different disease in a sense that it's affecting your behavior and the way you feel and your thought processes, and not just your physical body. But it is a disease just like cancer or anything else. It's just, it operates differently, and it's in your brain, and it affects how you act and how you feel. But it is a disease, and it's not just something that can be cured or you just get over. So, and that, I would say, is one of the biggest misconceptions when it comes to mental illness. But I just want to let you know that you're not alone, and that you're not being punished from God or because your parents sinned. This is not some curse. And that if you have depression, you can't just be happy. You can go to therapy to try to make it better, but you can't just be happy. Like, okay, well, at the end of the day, it's still there because it's a condition of my brain. I've been born with it. And anxiety, just don't be nervous, don't be scared. Well, tell my brain that. And PTSD, well, what happened in your past, so that doesn't mean it doesn't still hurt. And, well, let's take bipolar disorder, for example. Oh, you're just having mood swings. No, it's not just a typical mood swing. It's way different from that. Oh, schizophrenia. Oh, those voices and things you're seeing are not real. Well, yes, they understand that, but it doesn't make it any less scary. I mean, you have schizophrenia. That's part of the disorder. Anyways, I hope you all have a good rest of the day, and bye.